The Amish are one of the few groups that have preserved a traditional way of life. Most Amish orders have strict rules against adopting technology for transportation and agriculture. Considering that there are still devout Amish groups that avoid using electricity at home, how do the Amish keep food cold without modern technology? Despite the fact that more and more members of the Amish community are adopting some forms of modern technology, the community has perfected ancestral techniques to keep their food cold. With these techniques, they can keep their food and agricultural products fresh during the summer and store excess food to consume later. Let's see how the Amish keep their food cold. Can the Amish use refrigerators? Conservative Amish orders have strict rules against using or associating with worldly influences. They consider most modern technologies as worldly. Therefore, they don't need to use refrigerators or other appliances. All members of the community must show humility, simplicity, and modesty daily. Less strict Amish communities allow gas-powered refrigerators. In fact, some members of the community make their own. Why do they prefer gas refrigerators? Electric ones require connection to the public grid. These connections could expose them to excessive dependence on the outside world and bring in modern influences like television and the internet. That said, some New Order Amish have electricity that they use to power daily use appliances. With such strict rules, do the Amish drink coffee? Yes, they do. However, as electricity is still scarce, they opt for a filter coffee maker or an old-fashioned pot to boil the coffee. How do the Amish keep food fresh? If you're wondering how some members of the Amish community keep their food fresh without having a refrigerator, the answer is cold storage. Below are several cold storage techniques that the Amish use. Cold stream. The Amish have a unique way of keeping perishable food fresh and cold. A cold stream is a flow of water that runs from a nearby lake or river, generally underneath an Amish family's home. Cold water enters the house through channels, and as it passes underneath, it maintains optimal temperatures for food storage. By using a cold stream, they prevent perishable food that needs to be kept cold, but not frozen from spoiling. The stream is enclosed in a stone trough that serves as a cooling bath for food. The Amish have used this method for centuries to keep fruits and vegetables fresh. Ice houses. Ice houses are also popular cold storage techniques used by many Amish communities. An ice house is an isolated basement or cellar that stores ice throughout the year. In January or February, ice festivals are held in various settlements where blocks of ice are collected from medium-sized ponds. Each family then places these blocks in their family ice house. Are ice chambers effective at keeping food refrigerated? These small insulated cellars create their own atmosphere when loaded with the right amount of ice blocks. The chamber can maintain its temperature for months if users quickly close the door after entering the ice chamber. Root cellars. A root cellar is an underground or partially underground structure. These structures use the natural properties of the earth to maintain controlled temperatures and constant humidity. The Amish store fruits, nuts, vegetables, and other types of food in cellars. They also store canned foods in the cellars to survive the winter months. These cellars prevent food from freezing during winter and keep it fresh during summer. Before refrigeration existed, these cellars were widely used to store food and wine. Do the Amish drink alcohol? They have strict rules that prohibit alcohol consumption, so you won't find alcohol in their cellars. Refrigerator and freezer rentals. For example, in Indiana, conservative Amish communities have not yet adopted solar or gas energy. How do they keep their food fresh? In these communities, it is common to see annexes owned by non-Amish business owners that house freezers rented by Amish families. These annexes benefit the Amish, helping them uphold the tradition of avoiding technology while allowing them to keep food fresh, even without electricity. Some business owners also have telephones in these houses that the community pays to use. Even with these traditional storage methods, Amish food is still very good. Why is Amish food so good? All Amish food is prepared at home with freshly ground spices and herbs and uses techniques like slow cooking. Amish canning. Amish families have used various preservation methods to ensure they have food even during off-season months. One of these methods is canning. Just like the tradition of weaving Easter baskets for home use and for sale to support the community, Amish food preservation secrets have been passed down through generations. The Amish use various canning methods depending on the type of food, including the following. Water bath. This method is best for highly acidic foods like tomatoes. It involves submerging jars of food in boiling water, which kills bacteria and seals the lid. Pressure. Canning. This method is best for low-acid foods like vegetables and meats. It involves placing jars in a sealed pressure canner, thereby eliminating all oxygen and killing harmful bacteria. Dehydration. The Amish also use dehydration techniques to preserve food. This process involves evaporating the water from foods to preserve them. Popular Amish canned foods. Here are some of the most popular Amish canned foods. Red beet eggs. Hens lay fewer eggs during winter and fall. To ensure a steady supply of eggs during these months, the Amish preserve them by pickling them in jars. To pickle beet eggs, you'll need these ingredients: canned beets, hard-boiled eggs, white vinegar, sugar water. To prepare beet eggs, the Amish boil the beet liquid along with water, sugar, and vinegar. Then they place the peeled, cooked eggs in a jar with the beets on top and add the liquid. The eggs are ready when they turn purple and have a shelf life of 3 to 4 months. Chow chow. Chow chow is a popular Amish canned food made from chopped vegetables like green beans, cabbage, and corn. The Amish mix the vegetables with a combination of vinegar and spices such as mustard seeds and turmeric. Then the mixture is boiled in water before being poured into glass jars for canning. After canning, chow chow has a shelf life of 1 to 2 years. Canned beef. The Amish use the pressure canning method for canning beef. This canning recipe involves cutting pieces of boneless meat into small cubes and then pressure cooking them in a jar with vegetables. This method is similar to that used for chow chow, but takes more time, as the container must be tightly sealed so that there is no oxygen before cooking it. After canning, the jarred beef can last up to 1 year and should be consumed within 3 or 4 days after opening. Do the Amish eat pork? Pork is a popular meat option for the Amish, and pork sausages are a common breakfast food. Christmas jam. Amish fruit jam is a popular canned food among the Amish, usually prepared at Christmas. Amish jam recipes include berries like strawberries and blueberries mixed with sugar and cooked in a boiling water bath. The cooked jam is then poured into glass jars and sealed tightly to preserve the fruit flavor. Jarred jam can last up to a year if stored properly. Once opened, families use these jams for about 3 to 4 weeks, as long as they are kept in a cool place. Conclusion. The Amish have many ingenious ways of preserving food without electricity. From canning to pickling and dehydrating, these methods are essential for a community that wants to keep its culture alive while also having access to fresh food.